everybody, I'm doing my favorite albums of 1981. Now on my other channel, I did my favorite albums of 1978, 1979, 1980, and now it's 1981. We'll be bringing all those other years to this channel in the future, once a month. And hopefully by the time I'm done with those, I'll have the best of 1982, 83, and so on. Alright, here's some I don't own on vinyl. I have on CD, and I really like. Okay? The Ramones, Pleasant Dreams. This one has We Want the Airwaves. The KKK Took My Baby Away. The song my band, Thrash or Die, covered. We recorded it, never been released. I still have it, and I think it came out great. I love 7-Eleven. That song is fucking hilarious. It's got some good stuff. Not my favorite Ramones album, but I own every single Ramones release. I love the Ramones, even though I'm not a big punk rock guy. But the Ramones I love, and it's a decent album. Not one of their best, but it's still good. Here's one that features Bruce on vocals, Samson, with Shock Tactics. I really like the song on here called Riding with the Angels. The very first time I ever heard that song was the VHS, Dive Live with Bruce Dickinson. Bruce is Bruce Dickinson. That was his name in this band. Samson, Shock Tactics. It's okay. I love this one. I want to get this on vinyl. Hard Promises from Tom Petty. This is a great album. The Waiting, one of the greatest opening lines ever. Oh baby, don't it feel like heaven right now? I just love that opening line. One of the best opening lines to ever to a song. Woman in Love, great song. Funny thing about Woman in Love, it was released as a single at the same time. Stop. God, what's the song with fucking Stevie Nicks? Stop. Go ahead and leave a comment. I'm sure I'll remember it before you write that comment. Stop dragging my heart around. See, I told you. But anyway, I love it. My favorite track on here is Something Big. Something Big is probably one of my favorite Tom Petty songs. You don't hear much about that one. Very underrated and just amazing. And I think this is a really good album. Letting You Go is an awesome pop tune. I think this is a great album. Hard Promises, Tom Petty. Here's one I had on vinyl, but I gave it away when I got it on CD. I gave away a lot of good vinyls when I got on CD. But I'm waiting patiently for the anniversary box set to come out to finally get it on 180 gram. The amazing, the biggest album I think that Rush ever had, Moving Pictures. Not a bad song on, well yeah, there is a bad song on here, in my opinion. I never liked Camera Eye. And you know, I'll tell you a funny story. I saw this tour, kinda seen it twice. The second time I saw it, it was already Exit Stage Left tour. And the first time I saw it, they didn't play Camera Eye. But then I won tickets to go see them in Lakeland, Florida on the, what was it called? Exit Stage Left. I gotta tell this story, it's hysterical. Both times I saw Rush, something crazy happened. During the Moving Pictures, Neil Peart was late to get to the concert. They wouldn't open the gates. Hell broke loose, and a cop got hit over the head with a 2x4 by a crazy fan. I saw it. Guy had no shirt, long hair, skinny guy, came up behind a cop and hit him over the head with a 2x4. Then the cops came out and let out tear gas, and I almost got killed because I fell and I was being trampled, and my friend Claude, who I owe my life to, dragged me out, or else I would have been trampled to death. And the whole night I couldn't get that. Man, if you ever smell tear gas, it's like your lung is on fire, and the whole night I felt it. So when finally Neil Peart arrived, we went in, and the opening band was Riot. And I have it in my computer, no, actually I don't have it in my computer, I have it somewhere else. The actual newspaper clipping of that Riot. Well anyway, fast forward to the other show where I won tickets to. It was a station called K102, and it was the K102, they labeled it the Party Bus. And boy, they weren't kidding, because me and my brother got there early, and we were smoking weed before we got on the bus, because, you know, we couldn't get high on the bus, so we smoked weed, By the time we got on the bus, we're fucking stoned out of our mind. We drive, and oddly enough, the DJ was a female. Her name was Randy Rhodes, I shit you not. And they stop at a convenience store, and they came out with kegs of beer. And I was like, whoa, this is a party bus. Then, while we're driving, and mind you, I'm underage, and I'm drinking, they're feeding me beer. And my brother was of age by that time. And then we started smelling weed. I was like, I smell something. And it was the DJ, Randy Rhodes, up front, smoking a joint with the other fellow radio station people. So fuck, my brother and I whipped out the weed, we started smoking. The people on the road, on the aisle next to us, they had hash. So we were smoking weed, hash, drinking beer. I was so polluted at that show. My buddy, now here's something all you old metalheads know. Back in the day, people used to take binoculars to shows so you can see it close. You know, now we don't do that. Now people can zoom in with their phones and shit and just view a concert. But you know, I used to take, I didn't own binoculars, but my friend gave me his binoculars, lent me it to take to the show. I got to the show, I lost my brother. Next thing I know, somebody's waking me up on the floor. And I'm all, what the, I passed out, and the binoculars were gone. Boy, that's a long time explaining this album. All right, now we're going into the vinyl. Now, mind you, I don't really like this one, but it does have one good song I like on it called Bloody Reunion. This is Molly Hatchet with Take No Prisoners. Molly Hatchet always has the coolest album covers. I can't say this is one of them. This is like, they look like oiled up village people. They look like the village people oiled up. Not a big fan of this album, but it has that one song I like, Bloody Reunion. I think there's another one on here that I kind of like too, but I haven't heard this in ages. This is another one I'm sure a lot of you love. I only liked the hits off this album. El Loco, ZZ Top, and I saw this tour. Speaking of winning tickets, I used to win tickets all the time back in the day, because back in the day it would be first callers, and I had one of those touch-tone phones, and I was like so fast with it. So I won tickets to see ZZ Top on the El Loco tour, and a shirt. It was a yellow shirt that had the ZZ Top logo and the radio station, and the venue, Hollywood Sportatorium, and the date. But I really like Tube Steak Boogie, and what's the other one? Pearl Necklace. Was there another hit on this? Oh yeah, Party on the Patio. Those three songs I like. I don't like the rest of this album. And I love ZZ Top, but this is not one of their better ones. Now this one is weird, but I love it. I love the Alice Cooper Blackout period. My favorite would be, it used to be Dada, but now I think it's kind of tied with Flush the Fashion. But this one's great. Prettiest Cop on the Block. Who Do You Think We Are? 7 and 7. You're a Movie. That one's a weird one. But I really like this album because it's so weird. I dig it. It's the same reason I love The Elder so much. And that came out that year. Will it be in this back? Of course it will, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you? This is a Billy Joel live album. I don't put on that much, but when I have heard it back in, a few years ago, I enjoyed it. So I think it deserves to be on this list. It's a live album called Songs in the Attic. Not mind-blowing, but it's a decent live album. Now this one's a great live album. Nazareth with Snaz. I think this is an amazing live album. My buddy Robert Lawson that wrote a book called Razama Snaz, I highly recommend it. I had him on my podcast and he was telling me, this is a great live album, but there's something better. And I believe it was Hammersmith Odeon, and he was right, and they never released it. They should have. But still, this is a great live album. If you like Nazareth, you haven't heard of it, you haven't heard this album, give it a shot. Oh, I love this one too, The Police, Ghost in the Machine. You know, I don't know if some of you know this, and maybe some of you don't. But the album cover is supposed to represent each member of the band. I don't know if this is Stuart Copeland or Andy Summers, either one of those. But this is supposed to represent Sting. You know why? Because the little spiky hair. I found that out way after 1981. The reason I bought this album was the song Invisible Sun. I love that song so much. I remember seeing it back in the day on MTV. And, you know, it has every little thing is every little thing she does is magic. Demolition Man's really good. One World is cool. Some raga, reggae, or whatever you want to say. I think it's a good album. I actually enjoy the first two the best. But this one I'll put above, a little bit above, what was the name of the third one? A do 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 da da da. Whatever it was called. I like that one too because it has Canary in a Coal Mine, one of my favorite songs, and Man in a Suitcase. It has some good songs on it, but I think this one was better. Alright, oh, I love this one. Very underrated. Ted Nugent, Intensity in 10 Cities. This is a live album of new material. And man, the songs I really like on here is Put Up and Shut Up, Jailbait, Heads Will Roll. Man, there's a lot of good stuff on this album. My Love Is Like a Tire Iron, Spontaneous Combustion. Very underrated. Didn't really do much in 1980. By that time, Ted was like already, his career was going down the tubes. But I love this album. I liked it more than Screen Dream, and I love Screen Dream. Oh yeah, Except Breaker. I love this album. Did Udo sign this? Yes, he did. I don't know if you can make that out. I'm not standing up again. Just take my word for it. He signed it. What? All right, man. Fuck. You call me a liar? See the silver... Can you see it? Let's see if I can get that. See the silver Sharpie there? Udo signed it, bruh. I met Udo. Udo's awesome. Breaker, Starlight. There's a lot of good stuff on this. Son of a Bitch. Great album. Breaker. I think they got a little better with the next couple albums, but... Journey Escape. This was humongous. One of the biggest albums of that year. And man, the song I really love on here is Still They Ride. A song that's not really... I remember, I believe I heard it on the radio back then. But man, I just love that song. And I'm burnt out on... well, Don't Stop Believing. No, I'm not that burnt out on it. Stone in Love, I love. Who's Crying Now? I've never liked. Huge hit off this. I've never liked that song. Keep on Running is cool. The title track. Lay Down, Dead or Alive. Mother, Father. Holy, no, maybe Mother and Father is my favorite track on here. When Steve hits those really high notes at the end, jeez. And the solo Neil does on that song. And of course, Open Arms, a ballad that's been played to death, and I love it. And I think this is a great album, though I hate Jonathan Cain. I think he's a putz. I'm more of a Greg Raleigh guy, but this is a good album. I enjoyed Frontiers too. This came out the same year, earlier in the January, I believe. Great live album, Dixie Highway. Was that on, I don't think that was on any Journey album. La Doo Da with the great guitar solo. And the studio track, The Party's Over, I absolutely love that little guitar thing he does in the very beginning of that song. It's my favorite part of the song. Good happy times, man. Takes me back when I first got this album, man. I used to play it like crazy. And I should play it after I do this video, because I love this fucking album. Here's another one I love. Difficult to Cure. Yeah, Dio's my favorite era, but I don't know, maybe, I think this may be my favorite Rainbow album after the Dio years. Difficult to Cure. I Surrender. Spotlight Kid. No Release. Magic. My favorite track is the, I can't pronounce this, I think it's in Germany, German, it's Belaktek das Naxime, whatever. Zeit, maybe next time. Written by Blackmore and Airy. It's just a small instrumental I absolutely love. My favorite track off here. But close, very close second is Can't Happen Here. That song fucking rules. Freedom Fighter, Mid-Tunnel, the whole album. This whole album is really, really good. Alright, here's a cool one. Saga. You guys ever heard of this band? I don't own anything from Saga except for this. And early MTV would show the videos for On the Loose, Wind 'Em Up. Is there anything else on here? No, I just love the whole album. It's kind of proggy stuff, but it's proggy, but it has hooks. And I absolutely love this album. Don't know much else about this band, but I love this album. And this album's called Worlds Apart. Good shit. Oh, here's some killer metal here. Serious Ungal with Frost and Fire. This is an exceptionally cool album. If you know your metal, if you're a fucking crazy ass old school metalhead like me, you know the Serious Ungal, bro. And I'm going to give you a funny story about Serious Ungal, which I have said on my podcast. I always think it's funny. My friend Pat from Hellwitch, the legendary Hellwitch, he called me one day, and I was listening to this album. And he called me, and he hears it in the background. He's like, "Hey, Ralph, what you playing?" I said, "Oh, I'm playing some Serious Ungal." And he goes, "Ooh, the Serious Ungal." I go, "Yeah, you like them?" He's like, "Nah, they suck." I love that story. It's fucking hysterical. You gotta know Pat, man. He's a fucking great guy. Whitesnake. Come and Get It, right? Yeah, Come and Get It. This is when they were more of a bluesy band. This one had John Lord and Ian Pace and Neil Murray on bass. And of course Bernie and Mickey on guitar. And I can't remember the singer's name off at the moment. Something that rhymed with David Coverdale. It sounded like that. It's a cool album, man. I know a lot of people gravitate toward this being their favorite era of Whitesnake. Call me trendy. To me, I love the John Sykes albums. I liked Slide It In even more than the original version. Sorry. Crocus, Hardware. This was between Metal Rendezvous and One Vice at a Time. I think it's more in par. I liked Metal Rendezvous much more. I think their best is Headhunter. But this is a good album. You know, it has Easy Rocker, Smelly Nelly. It's decent. I mean, it's not mind-blowing, but it's good enough to put on my best of 1981. Pat Benatar, baby. She was huge at the time. Promises in the Dark. I love that song. Fire and Ice, Precious Time. Good stuff. Now it's Pat Benatar is no longer Pat Benatar. Now when you go see her live, it's Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, her husband. Great guitar player, but now he wants billing with her. Back then that was Pat Benatar. The soundtrack to heavy metal. I know a lot of you fucking love this. I'm not a big fan of this album. I mean, of the movie. This album does have some good shit though. The Grand Funk's, Nazareth, Stevie Nicks is on here, Trust is on here, Black Sabbath, The Mob Rules. It's a good soundtrack. Not excellent, good. I know a lot of you disagree with me. I know a lot of you people worship this shit. It's alright. I talked about this earlier. Stevie Nicks Belladonna, my favorite Stevie Nicks album. My favorite track on this one is, oh my god, isn't it on this album? No, it's not. No, I'm thinking of the song off of Tusk. Beautiful Child, I think it was called. But I do love Edge of 17. Leather and Lace is beautiful. The title track, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, there you go. Good stuff. My favorite Stevie Nicks solo album. You know, I would have to say this is my favorite Blue Oyster Cult album. If you saw my what was it called? Desert Island albums, I picked Secret Treaties over this, and I still like this one more than Secret Treaties, but if I was to go to Desert Island, I'm going to miss this album, because I think Secret Treaties is something I'd rather have than this. But I love this album, my favorite album, and I saw this tour, and they were headlining over Foghat, and MTV was there, filmed the whole show, and you can see it. I'm not sure about the Foghat, or even Blue Oyster Cult, but I know you can see clips of that show on YouTube. I have them both, the full concert, and it was aired on MTV, and then it was aired on a short-lived show called the Blue Jean Network. Anybody remember the Blue Jean Network? If you did, you're old like me. I love this album. Here's something that didn't really do well. Peter Frampton, Breaking All the Rules. I bought this album because I heard the song Breaking All the Rules, the title track on the radio, and it's such a cool song. great riff, and this album just came and went, didn't do anything. I saw Peter Frampton, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, farewell tour, and it really is a farewell tour because Peter Frampton is suffering from something where he's going to start losing the function, and he won't be able to play guitar anymore, so I believe this is a farewell tour, and he's making as many albums as he can before he loses all his functions. Well, anyway, I was shocked and surprised to see that he played Breaking All the Rules. I couldn't believe it. This album also features John Regan on bass, you know, the guy from Fraley's Comet, 4 by Fate. I saw Peter Frampton one time before. Check this out, man. Here at the Cameo Theater, very close to my house. Say about maybe 600-700 people fit in there. And during the encore, who comes out on stage with a double neck guitar? Jimmy Page. Talk about mind-blowing. And they did some Humble Pie songs, and it was fucking amazing. Anyway, I love Peter Frampton, man. He's an amazing guitar player. And if he comes to your town, go see him, man. He's really great live, and he's got a lot of great, interesting stories in between songs. Worth checking out. Especially if you've never seen him before, do it now before it's too late. This is a great underrated album. I think the whole album is really good. It's heavy and it's good. I love it. Oh boy, this band released 2 albums this year. This one's called Beyond the Valley of 1984, and I love the Plasmatics. This one has Master Plan, right? Is it Master Plan on here? Yeah. Headbanger, Sex Junkie, Pig is a Pig. Good shit. I really love this. But you know what I liked more? The EP they released that year. Metal Priestess with Black Monster, right? What's on here? Leather Monster, Black Leather Monster. Doom Song, Sex Junkie's also on here, and Master Plan. I like this album more. It's just an EP, but it's awesome. But nothing to take away that other Plasmatics album. I think they're both great. I'm not a big Santana fan, to tell you the truth. I never really got into them. I knew so many people when I was a little kid that were Santana freaks, and I heard Moonflower, and I have a couple other ones over there. The classic stuff with Greg Raleigh. This one, I love the song I'm Waiting. Is it I'm Waiting? I'm Winning, I'm sorry. What's the guy's name, man? Whoever sang on this album, what a voice on that guy. Alexander J. Lingertwood. Anyway, I love the song Winning. And I bought this album not too long ago. I remember I was in my city truck, you know, because in my city truck I'm a slave to terrestrial radio. And they played it one night when I'm driving around. I go, man, I haven't heard that song in ages. That's such a great song. And I waited till the DJ came back on and say who it was. He said it was Santana. I was like, wow. You know, that's my favorite Santana song then. And then I went to one of those those record deal things. They have those record things where a lot of people get together and sell records. And I found it. I found it for a couple bucks. Turned around, I saw Winning on it. I go, oh, I'm buying it just for that. And yeah, honestly, the rest of the album is whatever. I mean, the guy's voice is great though. But Winning, you know, but I just heard it once. Maybe I should give it more of a chance. But Winning is a great, like a poppy tune that's just great. A lot of hooks, great melody. Made me buy this. And just for that song alone, I put it on my list. This album was huge. Huge in 1981. Stakes Paradise Theater, an upgrade from Cornerstone. Cornerstone was kind of a letdown for me after Pieces of Eight. And of course Grand Illusion, Crystal Ball, Equinox, and Wooden Nickel Years. I love all those albums. Cornerstone did have Boat on a River, Borrow Time, Eddie, Love at Midnight. I like some of the songs. This one, Snowblind, is probably my favorite on here. Halfpenny, Twopenny. What else is on here? Oh, I love, you know what I really love on this album? It's such a little pop tune called She Knows? She Cares. Some songs on I don't like Best of Times. I liked Rockin' in Paradise. I didn't like Lonely People. But, you know, I like the rest of it. Even, what was it? Nothing Ever Goes as Planned. I saw the very first show of the Paradise Theater Tour at the Hollywood Sportatorium. And then I saw Dennis DeYoung maybe like 6 years ago. And he said, we opened the Paradise Theater Tour here at the Hollywood Sportatorium. Then he proceeded to talk about that venue, which to this day is the best venue I've ever been to. And it's been gone since 1988. The last show I saw there was Judas Priest. Rob Halford said on stage, they're tearing this place down. That's how I found out. I was like, I hope he got the information wrong, but unfortunately he didn't. Here's a very underrated gem. I love UFO. This is probably the last one, in my opinion, that's solid, except for Walk on Water. The Michael Schenker album was fucking amazing. But this one, Paul Chapman, I love it. My favorite song here is Chains, Chains. But I love the title track. Long Gone is great. Possession Of. Great album. The Wild, The Willing, and The Innocent. Almost made, something I forgot to mention. This is part 1. Part 2 will be the top 20 albums, and this one almost made it. Almost made it. And also I forgot to say, what I say on all these best ofs, there's always going to be somebody, no matter if I pick what, there's always going to be a comment of somebody going, where's this album? Well, the answer to that, and I said it in all my other ones, that album is up your ass, okay? That's why I didn't hold it up. And I'm not going to put my hand in your ass. This is my favorite Rush live album. I talked about it before. Saw the tour, Exit Stage Left. Amazing. Nothing against All the World's a Stage. I love it. But I just think this one has a better vibe. It's just amazing. I absolutely love Exit Stage Left. Also one that should have made the top 20. Oh, Birthday's Eve, Loudness. This is in Japanese. This is back when Loudness was making albums singing in Japanese. And I love Loudness. I'm a huge fan of Akira Takasaki. And I think Loudness rules. I'll tell, I seem to be telling stories. I'll tell a story. I went to one of these pre-Monster of Rock cruises show here at the Miami Casino. And Akari walked out on stage and did a jam. Yeah, he did Highway Star, and I couldn't believe it. I saw Loudness once before open for Yngwie. I think it was Yngwie and Lita Ford. Or no, maybe I got that wrong. No, it was Stryper, Loudness, and TNT. That's the show I saw. Well, anyway, Akari walked down. I was like, oh man, I wish I could have met him. I wish I knew he was here. So then after the show, we're just hanging out in the parking lot, and here walks by Akari with a bodyguard. Or some guy walking to a car, and I go, Akari, can I get a picture? And Akari just waved at me and kept walking, and then he stopped and he turned around and he goes, picture? And I got to take a picture with him. And if I can find it, I'll add it on here. If it's not here, I couldn't find it. But anyway, this is a great album, man. I love Loudness. Good shit. Birthday's Eve. Fucking underrated. Awesome band, The Rods. This is their first album with Power Lover, Crank It Up, Nothing Going On in the City, Rock Hard. I love me some fucking Rods. I got a lot of Rods albums. I don't think I have them all. They have a new one that just came out that I gotta get. And Carl Kennedy, the drummer, I hung out with him not too long ago. He was recording with a band here in Hialeah, Florida, and I know the guy that owns the studio, the producer, and he told me he was there. I ran over there, and he signed it and signed all my other Rods albums. Fucking great guy, and he gave me his phone number, and maybe I should call him soon. He recorded my favorite Anthrax albums, Fistful of Metal, plus a bunch of other ones. Here is my favorite album from Y&T, Earthshaker. What a great fucking album. Can't believe it didn't make the top 20 because this year was so good. But man, there's so many great classics on this one. Let me pull this up. You got Dirty Girl, Rescue Me, Hurricane, my favorite. Probably my favorite Hurricane Y&T song overall. I Believe in You. Awesome, awesome album. I love Y&T. Dave Meniketti, underrated, great guitar player, awesome singer. I love these guys. Oh, this was a big hit. Billy Squier, Don't Say No. I love My Kind of Lovers on here. In the Dark, Lonely as the Night, great fucking song. This whole album is really good. You know, The Stroke was the big hit off this. Good shit. I'll tell you a Billy Squier story now. This one's, it's funny now in retrospect, but it wasn't funny back then. I saw Billy Squier at the Miami Baseball Stadium, one of those rock festivals. I can't remember who was on the bill because I saw many of those in the same year, same 2 years. And when they were done, and I believe their drummer passed away. What was his name? Bobby Chouassenard, something like that. Well, anyway, this stadium had, it was a Miami Baseball Stadium, I don't know, 20, 25,000 people. And I'm like, I don't know, about 30 feet from the stage, you know, general admission, squash between everybody. And they're saying their goodbye, and the drummer throws out the drumsticks, and I didn't notice, and it fucking busted my lip wide open. It was a bloody mess. Out of 20, 30,000 people, I was the one that had to get hit in the face with a fucking drumstick. But still, I love this album. Billy Squier, man. My favorite Billy Squier album. Tattoo You, The Rolling Stones. I love Waiting on a Friend. Probably my favorite on here. Hang Fire. Of course, Start Me Up. Little TNA, the Keith Richards song. She's My Little Rock and Roll. Neighbors. Heaven. Great album. And as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Stones fanatic, I believe all these songs on here were leftovers from, I guess, Some Girls or whatever was the album before this. Emotional Rescue, I don't remember. But, man, hard to believe there's so many great songs that they don't sound like leftovers to me. A great album, Tattoo You. I know a lot of you would expect this in my top 20, but it's not. Too Fast for Love, Motley Crue. The clear vinyl, right? I believe I got a clear vinyl of it. Pretty cool. I remember seeing this picture here in a magazine before I ever heard a note of their music, and I was like, man, they look like Kiss. That looks pretty cool. They look pretty badass in the pentagram. I was like, oh man, I gotta check these guys out. And then soon after, I saw the Livewire video on MTV, and I was sold. To this day, I think Livewire is their best fucking song ever. So I ran out and bought this album, and honestly, I don't like it as much as a lot of people do. It is a great album, don't get me wrong, but there's some songs on here I'm like, like, Come On and Dance? But nonetheless, Livewire, Take Me to the Top, Piece of Your Action, Merry Go Round, On with the Show. I love those songs. So I put it in my best of 1981. Here's one that is not very loved. I fucking love The Elder, music from The Elder. I did not hear this in 1981. At the time, I wasn't into Kiss anymore. I remember I went to my friend's house. He had the album and he said, look, there's only one good song on it. I'm going to play it for you. And he played me The Oath. And I was like, yeah, man, that song's really good. He goes, dude, trust me. The rest of this album sucks. And I trusted him. Then in 1984, I used to take a bus, a 90-minute drive on a Metro bus to this place called Open Books to buy records. And across the street, there was kind of like a mom and pop record store. So I went there and they had The Elder on cassette. This is like 84. For $1. And I had one of those Sony Walkman at the time, and I said, you know what? It's $1. I'm going to buy this shit out of morbid curiosity. I'm going to play it on the way back home. So I put it on, listened to it on the bus. first time I heard this whole album, I thought, it's a weird album. It's peculiar, it's strange, but I really like this, even on the first listen. So, I listened to it, I think, like 3 times, over and over again. I kept flipping the cassette over, playing it over and over again, all the way till I got home. That by the time I got home, I pretty much knew all the songs on the first day. And I love this album. I know a lot of people are like the other track listing that starts with The Oath. It's the one I was used to. But then in 1997, or was it 96 or 97, Kiss released all the CDs again, remastered and shit, and they put it in the original order. And it's weird because I'm so used to the other order that when I heard the original order, I said, I like this order better. So that's what I'm holding up here, the original, the 180 gram one with the original track listing. I love the Elder, and anybody that has a problem with it can kiss my big black ass. Alright, here's one that, you know, it's okay. Quarter Flash. And I don't even know how I got this, but it has Hardened My Heart. There was, you know, I listened to this the other day, and now I can't remember what it was on track 2. I mean, side 2. It might have been Cruising with the Deuce, or maybe The Right Kind of Love. I can't remember. I really liked it. I liked it more than Hardened My Heart. So there's 2 songs I really like off this album. So that's why I put it on here. Actually, the album's not even bad, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't think it sucks in any way. I'm just saying 2 songs really grabbed me. Oh, The Cars. We just lost Rick Ocasek a couple weeks ago. Shake It Up. I love the first 2 Cars albums, but this one is good. I liked Since You're Gone. The first song is really good on here. The title track I really like. Cruiser, you know, it's okay. It's not a bad album. Good enough to make my top 8. And I really like this one. This band is kind of like goofed on a lot. The second Loverboy album, I think it's their best album. My favorite track on here is Get Lucky. But it has Working for the Weekend. I love that song. When It's Over is awesome. Take Me to the Top. Take Me to the Top is probably my second favorite off this album. I think this album is awesome. I'm not a big Loverboy guy, but I love Get Lucky. Cool fucking album. This is a great album. A great album. The Kinks, give the people what they want. You know, this one has Paranoia, Destroy Ya. I love Around the Dial, the title track, Killer's Eyes. The whole album, man. Predictable. A little bit of abuse. This is a great, great album. Should have made my top 20. But oh well. Are We Not Men? We Are Devo. Yeah, I know that's the first album. But this one, this is Devo with, what's the name of this one? I can't remember. Freedom, it's not Freedom of Choice. But whatever. The song that made me buy this was Beautiful World. I love that song, Beautiful World. But it also has Jerking Back and Forth. The Super Thing, Love Without Anger. I like that one. And the name of this album, I'm going to have to, oh, New Traditionalist. And they have like a monkey. Each of them are wearing like a shirt where on the sleeve it has a monkey. Is it a monkey? No, it's not a monkey. Oh, it's like an astronaut. These guys were weird as fuck, but I really dig Devo. I dig them. Especially those old videos, man. Like Beautiful World and Love Without Anger with the 2 chickens fighting each other. Good stuff. Alright, now I'm down to the last one before I go into part 2. Here's one that definitely hurt to leave off my top 20 of 1981 because I think it's a phenomenal album. It's a concept album. Very underrated album. And that's ELO Time. Oh, so fucking criminally underrated. There's so Twilight, Ticket to the Moon, Rain Is Falling. Oh man, this whole album. I love it all. I love this whole album. I love to chill, listen to this. I think Jeff Lynne is a fucking genius. I flew to Oakland a year or 2 ago to see ELO because they only did a couple dates. Then they ended up playing down here like 2-3 months ago. So I saw it again. And what a show. What a great show. And ELO is a very important band in my life. When I was a preteen, I really got into ELO. And for like, I don't know, for a little tiny moment, they were my favorite band. So there you go. Tomorrow I'm going to put up part 2, which is my top 20. And it was agonizing to pick what, you know, in order. And it was also agonizing that my number 2 album wasn't number 1. Because I thought for sure, before I grabbed all the albums, that would be, this is the best album of 81, hands down. But it turns out it's not. So what is my favorite album of 1981? Hey, why don't you guys predict it with the comments below? What do you think? And the winner gets nothing. Oh, the winner gets free content from my YouTube page, but shit, losers will too. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Schmack 'em a gob. This video was brought to you by Miami Metal Merchant for your metal needs and competitive prices. Visit MiamiMetalMerchant.com. Tell them Dr. FUKK sent you. Hey, I'm Dr. FUKK.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Hey, check out my podcast, The Vieira Vault. We're on Spreaker, we're on iTunes, and we're on YouTube. Check it out and subscribe. Hey, headbangers, you want your own radio show? Well, you got it. On Thursday nights here on that metal station, join me on the Dr. FUKK Show. Go in the chat room and I will make you my co-host. That's right. Everybody that joins me in the chat room, I discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll mention your name, I'll say what you say, and we're going to go back and forth. And I'll even fucking play whatever request you want. Unless it sucks, then I ain't playing it because my show rules. And only songs that rule is allowed right here on that metal station. The Dr. FUKK Show airs live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Well, no, fuck that hope. I better see you there, motherfucker.